Someone filmed a whole lot of little UFOs flying in the night sky. There's so many of them.
Y'all see this?
Those are not drones.
This is in Arizona, y'all. I don't know what's going on. Sorry for my language. I don't know what's going on. Look at all this stuff. You see this shit in the sky?
Circling.
They're circling literally.
Something.
They are circling literally.
People will lose their minds over this.
What is this?
It is pretty
Somebody
crazy
please
to see
tell me.
that.
I don't know what this is.
Thanks for watching to stay weird.
Manifest physically. And that he stopped in a meeting and someone was trying to ask him to explain something. He says, those creatures, he says, they're spirits. He says, but they're very upset. He says, they're upset. He says, we are destroying their physical and spiritual home. He said, they have no choice. He says, they have to come into our physical world to get our attention. He says, that's the only way that they can communicate that they have lost this, that we are destroying their home. So they manifest physically. And that,
in this recent viral video, workers on an oil platform off of Brazil filmed what seems to be some surface disturbance and a very strange light emitting from below the seabed. Could this water phenomenon be similar to what Captain David Fravor described seeing during the USS Nimitz UAP event off the coast of San Diego? Watch and let me know what you think.
So that's what it was. We don't see an object because there's all kinds of, they saw another craft below the water. We didn't see anything below the water. We just saw white water.
O sol morreu, foi pra lá, não foi pra cá não. Não, só se pôs lá, ó. Que luz é aquela ali? Vai pra mim, aí. Olha lá, no meio do nada.
Hey, there's definitely something down there.
So
since when do clouds cast a whole fucking
reflection?
Hey.
Looking up in the sky, I see this huge shadow coming from these clouds. Straight lines.
So speaking of Apple updating our phones every year so we can't really see what's going on in the sky, y'all, check out what this guy records up in the sky with his Samsung phone, y'all. This is 4 suns, y'all. Look at this. Look. Again, y'all, we believe something big is happening on the Earth. And like we have been saying, it seems that the Nibiru or Planet X system is here and they're not telling anybody about it. Because remember, they kept it on the hush-hush. They told us it never existed, then they came out and said it does existed, but they never confirmed it, y'all. And
I'll tell you one thing, everybody catching all this footage with their phones, but I can't seem to go out there and catch nothing. I want to see something too.
now people are seeing all these anomalies in the sky. I paused it and I screenshotted something, and it looks like there's another one off to the wayside. It's not a glare, because when we roll the cameras, you can see that it's not a glare. But look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y'all see that? 5, and then there's 6 over here. What? And I just told y'all, Nibiru.
I don't know. That might be just a camera glare or a glare off the glass or something. Who knows?
Is a 7-part system planet. A 7-part system planet. And look at this over here, you guys. So again, how do you explain this, right? And all the scientists, NASA, and all of them are keeping a hush-hush about this. And I believe they're already hiding in their bunkers. They're not up here no more because they know what's to come after this, y'all. They know what's to come. It's funny how you can see the 6 suns here, but when you look up, right? Again, everything is deceiving. All the cameras are so deceiving, y'all. What? And you can only see 4 when there's like 6 up there, y'all. Oh my goodness, what a time to be alive.
This is another reason why I don't allow people to touch me with their booty fingers. Watch as he scraped the little doodle from up under his fingers and put it under the microscope. As we can see, Venom and his cousins is having a block party.
Not Venom and his cousins having a block party, but that do look like Venom kids or something like that.
Under his nails. Like, this video just make me want to marinate my hands in hand sanitizer. You know, the one that kills 99% of bacteria and all other life forms that's on your hands?
And one thing that irks me is seeing somebody got that black underneath their nails. Now, if you got a job where you're a mechanic, then I understand. But if you sit behind a desk all day, it shouldn't be no reason why your nails black.
This is literally the gloop that be up under y'all fingers when y'all don't wash your hands and y'all got that black stuff in y'all fingers. Like, literally, A whole alien life form is up under his fingers. Like literally, gang.
You know what? Matter of fact, I treat black fingernails like black Air Force Ones. If you come around with them nails, I don't trust you.
Let's run this back and see it again. And give y'all the explanation on why y'all can't touch wisdom with booty crumbs in y'all fingers. You see this one just doing the Dougie? It's absolutely diabolical. Like worms jiggling their cheeks under your nails is diabolical.
No, they didn't make the AI version of the little boy giving a finger. This stuff getting advanced, man. In the next couple of years, I can see we can't even tell the resemblance from an actual video and AI.
Which uses these variables to help me calculate the height. What's powerful about variables is that if I change one, like the velocity of my shot, it'll change the related results too. And if I want to see how this speed impacts the height visually, I can. I'll just put y equals in front of this equation. And now, when I tap the equals sign...
Hey, now that right there, that's very innovative right there. That's creative. I can see that going in all classrooms across the nation. I can even see that useful tool at home and the common workplace. Let me know in the comments how y'all feel about that right there.
I have an option to create a graph. And if I'm curious how the height will be impacted by the angle of my shot, I can hover my pencil over the angle and adjust it to see how it affects my graph in real time. It's an easy way to explore equations and math. And that's
So apparently it's been scientifically proven that the vast majority of people actually are just sheeple. A few years ago, Nat Geo conducted these sheeple experiments. They put like 10 people in a waiting room and then told them to stand whenever a beep came over the intercom. They wanted to see if this woman would eventually start standing too, for no reason other than she just simply saw that everyone else was doing it. The name of this psychological phenomenon is called herd mentality. A certain percentage of humans are more likely to offload their decision making to the rest of the herd. And as you can see, eventually she did end up standing, even though she literally doesn't know why she or the other people are doing this. For the second half of the experiment, they removed all the actors, started letting more normal people, non-actors, come into the waiting room in order to see if they would do the same thing. What they found was that they too started standing even though they literally have no reason why, making this a classic example of herd mentality. Apparently,
now that right there, you can see examples of that in comment every day. You can go to the grocery store and see that. You can see it at school, your common workplace. You can just see it on social media in general. Everybody. It's crazy how one people just follow the leader.
95% of people have evolved to have herd mentality, which would make the 5% of you who say you have difficulty conforming the actual mutants here. So get in the comments and let me know what you would have done if you were in the waiting room. Would you have stood up, or are you one of the mutants that would have apparently done something different?
Somebody that you pass in the street could have been your family member in a past life. They could have been your friend or lover in a past life. Hell, they could have been the one that sent you to your new life. They could have been the one to unalive you. You could have passed a street that your old body passed away on. You can hear a song that you created in a past life. You can go to a museum and look at a painting, and you could be the artist that painted what you were seeing. The point that I'm trying to make here is that everything that you are doing in this life is going to affect your future life. When you litter, you're destroying the reality for your future life. All the actions that you take in this life, if you don't face the consequences now, then it becomes your karma in your next life. You know, they say what goes around comes around. That's very true. But there's no time limit on it. It could be this incarnation or the next. So choose your moves wisely.
Morbidly Wholesome Facts, Part 13. In 2014, the owner of a New York candy store called Samuel's Sweet Shop suddenly passed away. When the family announced that they couldn't afford to keep the store open, the late owner's good friends Paul Rudd and Jeffrey Dean Morgan put together the money to save the shop and have been co-owners ever since. This group of sperm whales adopted a bottlenose dolphin with a spinal deformity after it was rejected by its own group. If a mother suffers organ damage during pregnancy, the baby in the womb sends stem cells to repair the damaged organ. During a Red Sox game in 1982, a 4-year-old boy was struck in the head by a hardline drive off the bat. That's when Hall of Fame outfielder Jim Rice quickly sprang into action, grabbing the boy from his seat and carrying him to the clubhouse where he was treated immediately. Since a medical response would have been much slower if he was left in the crowd, Jim's swift response likely saved the boy's life.
I'm going to give you the original meaning of the word find and let you know why you need to stop saying this word. So here's the original meaning of the word find. Termination, end of life, end, limit, boundary, death, and also payment, finance, and money. So guys, when somebody asks you, how are you doing today? Don't say I'm fine, say I'm good. Because apparently, when you say I'm fine, you're casting a spell that's...
No, that's something that I always say. I always say, I'm good. You good? I'm good. I never really say I'm fine. That don't even sound too good.
Associated with death. And I know you like living. I know I like living. So stop saying that word and say I'm good. And one more thing. Think for yourself and do your own research. Peace.
Okay, what the hell is this? There's no way this can be legal. If you find baby Groot out in a cave system, you have a legal right to report it, not eat it. There's just no way that anyone's first thought when finding a baby alien Groot is to eat it over and open fire.
Look. People do anything, don't they? Look at the little teeth. How many of y'all eating that?
This, and this. Idaho's 500,000 acre water curtailment, preventing farmers from growing food that you eat. Now, this is pretty bad on its own, no doubt. When you combine this with stories like this, 4.2 million infected chickens to be culled in Iowa. Oh, by the way, there's not 4.2 million infected chickens. There's a small portion that are infected, but then they cull the entire farm. It's not the bird flu we should be worried about. It's those individuals making the decision to cull 4.2 million chickens because of an infection, instead of allowing the chickens to gain herd immunity. It's as if there's another agenda going on. But now it's not just Idaho's water curtailment and then 4.2 million infected chickens being culled. You also have stories like this. Wildfire destroys thousands of cows in Texas. With other stories like this. Man, so many coincidences. More than 1 million chickens feared dead after huge Illinois barn fire. So many coincidences. Now, to those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, you can see what's going on, but do not allow fear to overtake you. Many will use this information.
It's almost impossible to deny that something is taking place inside of the ocean. Did you see this jellyfish right here? This is the chirodeck jellyfish. It is so rare inside of the ocean. The ocean is getting real hot. This is the reason why we are seeing all these rare different life forms now. So if you think this jellyfish is weird looking, we ain't seen nothing yet. This phenomenon that we are witnessing inside of the ocean, this is the true meaning of a pole shift. Things are starting to get hot on this planet. In ancient times, we went through something called the Ice Age, where it froze so many life forms. Now,
one thing I can tell you, it is starting to get hot. I walked out there today, boy, I instantly started sweating. I almost want to come straight back in and turn on my AC.
We are in a warm age. All these animals we are seeing, they are being thawed out. The prehistoric animals we heard about from the ancient times, it was no myth, it was no legend. These things are real. Ice really preserves the physical body. For the ones that don't believe ice can preserve your body, research Walt Disney. After he was unalive, they froze his body, hoping they could bring him back in the future.
Walt Disney is somewhere definitely stored. But that's the same thing like the ancient Egyptians. The way they wrap the bodies up, hoping that we can bring them back in the future. With all they gold, they gonna be real mad if they come back and we done took all they gold.
Since we were children, they gave us these programs in schools that made us believe that outer space is somewhere up there. Outer space is really in the ocean. All this activity we are seeing in the ocean, they're letting you know that space is really changing.
Women with the most unique bodies in the world. Siu Momo Naing. Smallest waist in the world. 34.8 centimeters.
She shaped like a Coke bottle. That was just playing.
B. Melvin. Living with naturally full white hair since birth.
Now that's pretty cool right there. Walking around looking like Storm. I wonder what her nickname was.
Lore Su. The youngest looking woman. 63 years old.
What? Let me come across Miss Lore Su.
Rain Dove. Considered to be man and woman at the same time, but biologically is woman. Amina Ependiva. She got genetic combo, albino with heterochromia.
Now that's crazy. That's like that zombie movie where the kid had that different eye and he was immune to the disease.
Juliana Youssef. Third of her skin is covered with birthmarks.
Kind of like Revitalago almost.
I got a weird glitch in the Matrix video for you. And after that, I got a story of my own that's real similar to this. But first, let me show you the video. So you got this guy walking up the street. Look right behind him. It's another version of him. Now look, it's another version of him. Maybe they're twins, but it sure looks like the same guy twice to me. Same clothes, same walking style, same bald head. What? When I saw that video, it reminded me of an experience I had a little over a year ago walking in downtown Reno, where I live.
Let's see what kind of lie he make up.
I was on the east side of Virginia Street in downtown Reno, where Harrah's Casino used to be, and I saw a guy in front of me who had a white t-shirt on. Now, all I remember about him is he had dark, kind of wavy hair and a white t-shirt, and I remember that for a reason. Because as I turned my head to the west side of the street, there was another guy with dark wavy hair and a white t-shirt. And they looked exactly alike. I mean exactly. And then the really weird thing happened. The guy in front of me turned to look at me. And at the same time, the guy across the street turned to look at me.
I wonder if he had that cheese hat on. If he walked out in public with that cheese hat on, everybody should turn around and look at him.
What the heck? And it looked like exactly the same person. Exactly the same person. No, I don't know. It could just be a weird coincidence or twins pranking people. But that freaked me out. And it always stuck in my head. Not just the cheese head, the cheese brain too. Have any of you, my four-leggedy binkies, had anything like this happen before?
Yo, what is Google trying to tell us? I saw a video do this, I did not believe it, so I did it myself, and it's true. I had a really strong feeling we would not see past 2030. Let me show you why. Okay, going through the dates, one at a time. First, 2024. And it's just normal stuff, right? 2024, okay. Wait till you see what 2025 is. You can't make this stuff up. What is this? What is this? That, like, what's going on? You see the gas mask in the first one? What is this? Watch this. 2026, back to normal, right? But wait until you see 2027. Whoa, hold on there. What's going on with this? It's about to get really weird in 1 second. It's about to get really weird. Weird, huh? But just wait. 2028 is the craziest one. Almost. 2028. 2028, the end? 2028, Finn? 2028, the rapture? 2028, what is this? You guys, are you serious? All over the freaking place. Why? Watch 2029. The very end, supposedly, by Google. Meteors hidden.
Well, I can kind of see that because since I was young, they always talked about this asteroid that was going to hit in 2029. I've been waiting. We almost here. Time went by real fast. So when 2029 hit, they say the asteroid coming. And from what I heard, from what I remember reading, they said it's supposed to be like a couple miles high above the Earth, or maybe a mile or two, maybe. I don't know, but we'll see.
The Earth, like the very, very end. And the funniest part is 2030. Watch how we go from like the rapture in the end and asteroids into like just this futuristic new world. All of a sudden, we're in a new world. Look at this beside me. Look at that. So all of a sudden, we just transform into a new life. Odd.
Is this even the same Joe Biden? Oh yeah, TikTok, this is just for fun, okay, so chill out. But does this even look like the same person to you? Look at the comparison photos.
Yeah, they look like the same person, but I don't know, it looked like Father Time whooping his ass.
Look at the photo on the left side and look at the photo on the right side. Does that look like the same Joe Biden to you? Doesn't look like the same Joe Biden to me at all. Something weird is definitely going on here. It looks to me almost like a, if you know, you know. Certain things I can't really say because if I say certain words, but if you know, you know. I will let you in the comment section help to fill in the blanks, help to fill in the little missing pieces, because I got to get around certain things to bring this information to each and every one of you. But again, this really does not look like the same person at all, but maybe I'm just being too much of a...
Ancient Egypt is a nexus point in the space-time continuum. A lot of things go back to ancient Egypt and what they inherited, including the following thread. How the Nephilim look like clowns, and how ancient Egypt is the origin of what we know as clowns today, as well as the continuation of secret society mystery schools and the origin of the ancient Jed school, Jed pillars, the cult of Osiris.
It seemed like everything originated from Egypt.
Contact with real species of spirits and the connection between Enoch's fallen angel group all the way through till today with Hollywood channelers and even CERN. And how over time all over the world in many cultures there's this same generic Nephilim prison suit, clown outfit, and rituals. Sacred clown-type shamanic priesthood rituals to contact and worship these beings, along with dragons and other patterns you can see on my Theory of Everything playlist. But today we're going to dive into an interesting thread starting in the Book of Enoch, and this thread about makeup. An interesting rabbit hole about how makeup can be used as technology. You're saying, what do you mean technology? Good question. Aside from one of the obvious uses of seduction, which you see carried into through today, it even goes deeper than that. There was this whole aspect of transformation and possession and things like sigils and tattoos with paint and other things that you would paint on your body like makeup that could kind of enhance or contact the spirit realm as a form of matching technology. One of the hidden uses of makeup. Seduction was just part of it, which also connects in through sex magic. You see this imitation pattern throughout history, and even the Hindu gods' faces and many cultures the gods or faces depicted like this. You see in the Bible how Jezebel used makeup. And there's even modern theories about cosmetics about how it's a form of mind control. How it goes into the brain and puts women in a cycle where they have to keep spending money on something that's actually destroying their skin. And they have to keep doing it over and over to feel like they need to keep up. And how the word glamour itself is tied into witchcraft. So this makeup, possession, clown connection all ties into what Azazel taught men. Video plug on my page about Azazel. Also, the modern origin of the clown goes back to Egypt. So does the concept of the jet pillar and the modern Jedi and Star Wars concepts and the Force. This flows perfectly into the Star Wars demon thread. Aside from characters also with this same face appearance, you do some research and find how there's actual demon connections to these characters, such as Yoda and Darth Maul. Yoda was said to be based off of a demon summoned by Freemasons, supposedly. And check out what this African tribe leader, Credo Mutwa, has to say about Darth Maul and these beings.
And what surprises me is this. Some film producers, like the producers who make the film Star Wars, often show creatures in their films which actually exist, which even the most uneducated of Africans who knows this can identify. For example, in the new Star Wars film, there is a creature who amazes me called Darth Maul. That is exactly what the cheetah would look like. I wonder, I just wonder, where is the producer?
Interesting thread about the cult of Osiris and the Jet Pillar, which looks kind of like the Jedi lightsaber handle. You'll notice how there was a Koreshian, false messianic movement that was a cult. And then later a guy named David Koresh who also used this word Koresh. Doing some quick research, you'll find this word Koresh is based off of the word Cyrus, which I'm speculating ties into Osiris, both having to do with the sun in etymology. The Koreshians were even expecting Cyrus T, their leader, to resurrect, Osiris style. And speaking of the Force, many of the ancient Egyptians believed we lived in a Matrix-type simulation, a simulated interactive environment that you could manipulate and control. So the concept of the Force and all this comes from ancient Egyptian stuff, the net, which ties into netters, nature spirits, and other connections you'll see, including this whole concept of a net and how it ties into the internet and web, and how both nets and webs are used to catch something. Wonder what they're trying to catch or trap. Hope it's not you. I also wonder if demons or supernatural things are related to things like foreign accent syndrome. Is there a spiritual phenomena element? Example, one lady born and raised in Texas her whole life in her 30s had jaw surgery and woke up with a perfect English accent like she's from England. This has happened in many cases. And also weird things with heart transplants and personality changes, and other weird things that maybe science can't explain. What does this have to do with consciousness transfers? The same concepts that they wanted to mummify bodies for the pharaohs to then transfer their consciousness, which you even see things like cryo-encrypted Walt Disney having the same idea, and this whole resurrection of Osiris plan I'm going to re-bring up, which ties into CERN. Future deep dive. Either way, with all this mystery and power, remember God has the ultimate power. He had the oldest man outrunning the fastest horses in the world. Plus, Elijah's whole life was just straight up fascinating. Aside from outrunning a chariot, he was taken to heaven in one, frequently did miracles, resurrected the dead, frequently teleported and translated, just like Philip in the New Testament was one time, which is the thing. And apparently he was a warrior who the prophets of Baal got just completely slumped by, 850 of them. He prayed to make it rain and many other miracles. And I'm speculating that his power, obviously coming from God, but also coming from the 40-day fast that only mentioned him, Moses, and Jesus did. All three of them having the most supernatural power. Future deep dive on fasting. Speaking of Elijah outrunning the chariots, and that being the origin of this word, I'm going to wish you Godspeed.
This is light work.